Alright, welcome back to another custom Lego city video. This is a city in progress, if you will. In fact, I recently completely ripped up all my old tables and my old layout, and I am now in the process of beginning anew. And the first thing that I wanted to do with my new layout was to better differentiate the two sort of tracks that I had. So I now have a raised track that is all metal from the old 9-volt system, and then that goes all the way around and back behind my buildings, and I'll show you that in a little bit more detail in just a second. And then I also wanted to have a lower track, which is much larger, much longer, and that is all of the newer plastic or use the power function trains. So I actually have a mix of both 9-volt powered engines and the power function engines, so I'll be able to have different trains running above and below the city. Another thing that I decided to do was to raise up the back side of the city, so when you actually come to the table, you're going to be able to make out what's going on in the back, but also see some of the stuff in the front. Now, most of this, like all this over here, and actually pretty much everything you see on the lower level is just kind of sitting there waiting for me to fit it into the city. But the back is probably mostly done, and I just finished working on the train itself. So let me take you with a quick spin of what I'm working with and what my future plans are, and then yeah, hopefully my next update I'll have some more done. So we'll start kind of on the far side there. You can see I have just a kind of a loop that the train makes. That's one of those old 9-volt crossings, which I was happy to be able to acquire. And then the back is mostly modulars, and that's sort of the more built up part of my city. And you can see that I have a bunch of the modulars out there. Not quite all of them. Didn't have space quite for all of them, and my custom grocery store sitting in the middle. But then in between there, where there's going to be a gap, that's where I'm eventually, I think, going to have either a bridge connecting the two sides of the city, or maybe a bridge in progress with the construction trucks, kind of just a placeholder for those right now. If I swing down over here, you can see next to sort of the hill district, if you will, I have the custom bridge that I made. The Spider-Man, took a couple of those Spider-Man sets and built this bridge, and I modified or added to it, so now the bottom is all sitting on blue plates, so it certainly looks a lot better, a lot more sort of realistic there. And if you want to see more of the bridge, I did a video on that earlier. And if I swing around just to kind of show you the rest of what I have done, so I'll work my way around the tables here. On the back side of the train, or of the city, is the train, and I have sort of a small section here where they can load and unload cargo, and then it's going to be a little bit tight to see, but that's actually a train tunnel down below for the power function track, and then up above will sit the two tracks for the 9-volt metal tracks. I still have some work to do. This needs to be raised up a little bit, so I have a little bit of work to do there, but that's basically where I'm at on my city. And if I swing down below, just so you can see what I've done down here, this is what it looks like currently. There's my controller for the 9-volt train, and you can kind of see underneath here, I just set it on some pieces of plywood on some wood blocks to make a nice little base for my city. I do need to add in a couple more blocks. It's starting to bow in the middle already. Those modular buildings are actually surprisingly heavy for a piece of plywood. So here's kind of the backside view, as you will. Now again, everything that you see out there is just sitting there. It's not where it's going to be at all yet. The Ferris wheel is going to be part of my city, but you can see I have a ton of other stuff that I also need to add to my city. I have a police station and a fire station and a whole bunch of other buildings and stuff. So I have a lot of work to do, but I'm also proud with the progress I've made and happy so far. So thanks for checking out my progress on my city, and hopefully I'll have more updates for you soon.